Hallelujah. Good evening and welcome to Couples Relate. Once again, tonight is a beautiful, beautiful time in the presence of God. Thank you. It's so wonderful coming live again to us. And thank you for believing in Couples Relate. Thank you for tuning in each time. We love you. I want to say we love you. We appreciate you. And I want to also believe that somebody is being blessed. I encourage you as you join online, please share with families, share with friends, let them know that Couples Relate is on tonight. Let people know that Couples Relate is on. Now, I don't know wherever you're watching from, but if you've been following Couples Relate for a while, last week we spoke about how we can speak language of love to one another, how we can speak love to our spouse in a way that they will understand. Now tonight, I want us to just look at another dimension. In the last few times we've been sharing on Couples Relate, I have shared with us a lot of times, tips, things we could, have a look at, think about on how our relationship can be better. Now, I was just looking at I was reading through a particular story, a love story of some couples, and I began to see the trend. The trend in our love life is the usual one where we start chasing the man, start chasing the woman. She eventually wins her heart, and all of a sudden you notice that the momentum of chasing starts going down, starts dying down gradually. And everything that the man did to get the woman, it starts reducing the pressure because what more? I don't have to pressurize myself. She's all mine now. And the same thing happened, the lady sees the man and she's so much in love with him. She loves his look, she loves his eyes, she loves everything about him. And suddenly, after she noticed that, great, I've been able to catch his attention. He's all mine now. We're married. We've got one kid, 2, 3. Yes, that's it. Oh, he's all mine. He's not going anywhere. Well, that might be true, but sometimes it's not always true. And what I would like us to think about is, if we look at it, marriage is not just a matter of, I'm going to spend 5 years or 10 years there. It's a matter of life, a matter of 40, 50 years. If you got married early, if you got married in your late 20s, middle 20s, so you, and the Lord bless you with long life, had another 60 years, 70 years, 80 years for some people, you're still together. So why do I want to live such a long time, such long moments of our life? Why do I want to live it in misery? Why do I want to live it in, not maximizing every opportunity that I have? I want to tell you that marriage is very important in the heart of God. It's so important in his heart, and God would want our marriage to be the best it can be. So tonight I want us to share about keeping our love alive. What are some of the things we can do to keep our love alive? If you have been following Couples Relate and you go back to listen to some of the messages, I've spoken on a series of advices. I've kind of suggested things we can do together to keep our love alive. Well, tonight I want us to look at it also in another way, in a relaxed mode, and I hope you will try what we share tonight. I hope it might be a bit difficult, especially if we've been married for a long time, if we've been so relaxed and we think, oh, I don't think I can try it. But I want to say that we can do it. So tonight, before I start, I want to read from the scriptures. I love us to always check the Bible because the originator of marriage is God, and everything that we want, everything that we need can be found in the scripture. I will read from Songs of Solomon, and you will be surprised that the scripture is so perfect. It's so perfect and complete. You've got everything that you need to get to everything you need to make life, everything that you need. I want to say thank you, Pastor Mrs. Atiba. God bless you, it's been a long time. Well done. God bless you. How is the ministry? How is the family? Please share. And if you are also joining us online, let friends and family know we are here. Now, I'm reading from songs of songs or songs of Solomon, like some version would say. I'll be reading the NIV version, and I want to read my version. I've kind of explained it to us by telling us when the man is speaking and when the woman is speaking. I will not read all the verses, but I'll just read up to about 7 or 8. I would let you know as I go. So let me read for you from verse 2. Now this is the man talking. He said, like a lily among thorns is my darling among the young women. That's in the Bible. Like a lily among thorns is my darling among the young women. If you go very well around the young guys, the young boys out there, if they find this scripture, they will make a very good use of it in toasting, in sending messages to their girlfriend. And maybe you, as a man, if you were listening to me or watching, maybe those were some of the words you used to gain the attention of your wife. Thank you, Mrs. Omoruyi. God bless you. Thank you for joining. God bless you, ma'am. So I'm reading from Songs of Solomon chapter 2. Now listen to what the lady said in verse 3. He said, like an apple tree among the trees of the forest is my beloved among the young men. I delight to sit in his shade, and his fruit is sweet to my taste. Let him lead me to the banquet hall, and let his banner over me be love. Strengthen me with raisins, freshen me with apples, for I am faint with love. His left arm is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. And she started warning, because she knows what it can be like when you are enjoying all that. She said, daughter of Jerusalem, I charge you by the gazelles and by the does of the field. Do not arouse or awaken love until it is so desired. Now you have already awoken love because you're already in marriage. And that's the problem, yes. We've already awoken love, we're already in marriage, but then suddenly we just get so tired, we get so weary, everything that we were doing before, we kind of, oh no, is it not my wife? Is it not my husband? What else does she want? Now let's share some tips to keep our marriage alive. And please, I would really appreciate it if we can try some of these things. God bless us. What's the first one? A lot of times when we get married, we settle for ingratitude in our relationship. We settle for ingratitude. One, you find out that we just stop being grateful to each other. You see the husband start taking the wife for granted for those little things like cooking. Yeah, it's your responsibility. You've got to cook for me. So when she cooks, you just take the food and you eat. No, thank you. No, oh, my dear, thank you for cooking. This food tastes nice. Even if it doesn't taste nice, you can still say thank you for cooking because she's cooked. You can't say, and the wife as well, look at the husband and say, darling, thank you for helping, with the dishes. He says, well, we help together. It's no big deal if you wash the dishes. And the husband is saying, I'm gone. How many men did you see washing the dishes? We lose the grace of appreciating each other, of being grateful. I just want to encourage us. I don't know where you're watching from. Have you lost the skill of appreciating your spouse? Have you lost the skill of being grateful? Please, let's just bring it back. Bring back gratefulness into our relationship. Let's thank each other for little things. Thank him for opening the door. Thank him for closing the door. Thank her for making the house tidy. Thank her for giving you peace. Do you think it's every woman that makes their husband happy or give them rest of mind? If you go out there and go and sample, you will know that some men are crying for just to live peacefully because they live in a battlefield. The battlefield sometimes is even better than their house, because when you're in the battlefield, you know you're in the battlefield. But this time around, you think you are in the house, but it's a battlefield. So be grateful, be appreciative. Say thank you to your wife. Thank you. Look for things to be thankful for. Just look for things to appreciate each other for. Let's stop the attitude of taking each other for granted. This is so paramount. Thank you, Mr. Luca. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. Please share with friends. We take things for granted so much among ourselves. We're married and we just say, yeah, that's it. I'm married to you. There's nothing you can do about it. No. Please, let's reduce our complaints. Reduce, the next time you want to complain, bite your tongue. Rather than complain, be appreciative. Thank each other for very little tasks. Thank you for taking out the trash. Oh, you look beautiful today. Thank you for dressing very nice and neat for me, just for me. I remember in those days when I was cutting my husband and I see him dressed lovely, I would say, thank you for dressing nice for me. And he would say the same to me. But nowadays, I can't remember how many times I've been able to look at him and say, thank you for dressing nice for me. Let's bring it back. I'm telling you my own now. What are those things that you appreciate before your spouse that you've forgotten all about? Let's just look for little things and be appreciative about it. Thank you for helping with the kids. Thank you for making your supper, your dinner. Anything, just look for ways. Find excuse to be appreciative. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. It goes a long way because then it will reduce the amount of time we complain. Because you're looking to be able to say thank you. So you'll be looking and searching for positive things, at least for a change. Because if you're not looking for something, you will definitely be finding something else. If you're not looking for things to be grateful for, you will definitely be finding something else. And what will you be finding? Things to complain about. So we've got to make the choice to start being appreciative. And I'm telling you that this kind of attitude, it kind of begets each other. Happiness begets happiness. Gratitude begets gratitude, and it wants you to do more. Somebody that you say, thank you, darling, for looking so smart and nice for me, will be like, oh my God, next time I've got to impress this lady again so that she'll be proud of me. But no, you're not doing it. So let's just look for ways of being appreciative. Now, how can you be appreciative? Add some taste. Add some taste to these things. Don't just come out and say thank you all the time and let your husband or your wife think she's just joking about it. She doesn't mean it. No. Be creative about it. Sometimes let your thankfulness be through text messages. Sometimes technology is so great now. We can do marvelous things with it. Rather than do negative things, let's be productive. Just take your phone, record a voice message, send to your wife, send to your husband. And if you're not yet married, you're watching this, send to your husband, your husband to be or your wife to be. But I'm trying to encourage married couples now. Those things that we used to do before, or peradventure, you didn't have the opportunity of doing it. Now is the time. Send each other a message, darling, you're just the best. I want to say thank you. Look for ways to be grateful. Grateful attitude, grateful actions. Write random notes and leave it anywhere, like under the pillow, in the house. Just be grateful. Be grateful. Thank each other for everything. And when I was talking about thanking each other, I'm telling you, being grateful helps in keeping our romance alive. It helps us to keep our romance alive. Do you remember those times when you were courting and you want to part ways? You're going your ways. You still say, oh, thank you for this evening. When was the last time yourself and your husband or your wife sat down and you had a chat and you looked at your husband and said, oh, thank you for this evening, or thank you for this morning. It was good sitting down with you and chatting with you, but it was just good spending time with you. We've forgotten. Let's be grateful for it. In being grateful, can we do an exercise? I just want you in your quiet time, when you have time later on tonight, or maybe tomorrow, sit down and write at least, let's start with 5. Just 5. Write down 5 things that you are grateful about your spouse. Write 5 things down that you think, yes, I'm happy. Thank you, darling. Write it down, because I know you will have to start practicing it. So then after writing it down, start bringing it out one after the other. So you're not used to being grateful before, start it now. So maybe I appreciate my spouse because he looks after the kids. I appreciate my spouse because she cooks good food. Write it down. Just start with about 5. Now after you've written about 5 down, start using it one after the other. Make sure no time goes. That means in the morning, make sure the morning does not finish without you saying thank you. Make sure the afternoon does not finish without you saying thank you. Exercise it. Just start using it one after the other. What else? I think I've dwelled on being appreciative. The next thing we have to do to each other, which is good, which I'm encouraging us to do, is let's begin to find times to do things together. In one of my video, I did encourage us as well. I said, let's do things together. Please, let's do things together. And enough of this boring doing things together. I know it's so lovely and good to go out for dinner. It's so nice to go out to watch the movies, but let's do things together. Find excuse to do exciting things together. Something that will raise your adrenaline. For example, if you are a wife and you don't like to watch a horror movie, yes, have a nice time at night. Put the horror movie on with your husband and make excuse to smile, laugh, and fall on his lap. Just, create an environment where you can be excited. There is no reason why we shouldn't be excited. And I want to tell you that if we do not create those moments for ourselves, they don't usually happen naturally. Because we want to act adult, we want to act matured, we want to act like everything is all right. So sometimes we've got to intentionally create those moments. Studies shows that when our body responds to excitement, it pushes us out of our comfort zone, and it's almost the same feeling with the feeling of intimacy and connection. Do you wonder why when things are sad and we're maybe things are not going the way we want, it's a sad moment? Do you wonder why somebody that you would think normally that you cannot stand, somebody that you hate, do you wonder why all of a sudden you start loving each other and you don't know when you're cuddling each other, when you're embracing each other, when you're afraid or when you're sad? After you've done it, you wake up and you say, did I just do that? That's because of the adrenaline that is being produced at that time. So let's create excitement for each other. Do things together, scary things, exciting things. Look for a place to visit together that you haven't been before. Discover things together. These kind of things, they strengthen relationship, and later on you can build on those memories and ask questions about it and say, oh darling, I remember that place we went to, what happened there, and things like that. But you've got to do it together. You need, using the lighter word, you've got to be silly when you're with each other and create the moment for yourself. So you've got to create the moment for yourself by doing things together. And the more positive memories we have with each other, the easier and better it is for us to stop having negativity about each other. So once we start doing those things together, the lesser we will mourn, the lesser we will complain about each other. So I just want to suggest, let's create things together. What are those things that makes you, maybe scared, excited? Do it together. Somebody was saying, and I think is a nice thing. One of the things we can do together is going out for what we call like a trust walk or a trust move. I.e., what do I mean? So you close your eyes and your partner hold your hand and leads you on. So this is that's what I mean. So you're closing your eyes and your partner is saying, keep walking, don't worry, the road is clear. Do you remember as kids we used to do such games? Do you remember at all? I remember very well we used to do it, and one of your friends will hold your hand and you will start walking and they will say, there's road there, there's no road, turn to your left, and you're doing it based on trust. Do you know how much we enjoy those moments as kids? Do you know how much we enjoy them? Well, if you want to have a good, lasting relationship, to keep our love alive, sometimes we've got to be kids with each other. Come on, bring the excitement back on. Go out and trust each other. Like, darling, give me a shower, and I won't touch the water. You will do it for me, and I will see if it's going to be too cold or too hot. Trust each other and say, darling, I'm trusting you to do this for me. Just create excitement for each other. I can't even think of it, but you just think about it and create excitement for each other. Cook food and tell your spouse, close your eyes and I'll feed you. Just open your mouth and he's saying, what did you cook? No, I won't tell you until you eat. Taste it and guess. Create excitement. We can do it. I know we can. These things might sound silly, but I'm telling you, they keep the love going. They keep our love going. What else can we do with each other? We can, like I said earlier on, I said we can visit places together. Now, there's something about helping out as well. Sometimes, as couple, we can choose to do activities together. If you are in a community, you can decide to work together like volunteers in a community. If you are a Christian, you can, in your church, you can decide to do things together. For example, if you both have good voices, you could decide to sing in the choir. And you sing in the choir, you go for choir practice together. These are doing things together. You can decide to be Sunday school teacher together, so you go for Sunday school preparatory classes together. Just try to do things together. Go for walks and do different things that would make you to intentionally rely on each other. One of my videos couple of months back, I said something about you intentionally create reliance on your spouse. It's not like you can't do those things. You can, but you just choose to not do it and let your spouse lead on. All these things helps to keep love alive. Showing your spouse that, darling, I cannot do without you. But don't be too self-sufficient, darling, I can do without you, There's nothing I cannot do without you. No. Sometimes try to let your spouse know that there are so many things you cannot do without them. It keeps love alive. Sometimes as couple, you could decide to cook a meal together. So go on the internet, learn a new meal, learn a new idea of how to cook something. Both of you sit down and do it together. These things keep love alive. I want to suggest, now this is a bit difficult, but we can do it. Let's intentionally create a date night at least once every week. Don't know what you want to do in the date, but let's create a date night. So a night when it's just going to be both of you. It could be half an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Let's start at least once in a week. When it's just going to be you, you can decide to go out for a walk. You could decide to stay at home together, but just find time when it's going to be just both of you. And you can ask each other, what would you like us to do next week in our next date? What would you want to do? So you can create things together. What other things can keep our love alive? Another very good thing that can keep our love alive are giving each other surprises, pleasant surprises. Giving each other surprises in the sense of not just the same thing all the time, but exciting surprise. I.e., you tell your spouse comes home suddenly from work and the whole place is all candlelit, all the place is ready, for a romantic dinner. Your bedroom is set now. Sometimes as our relationship grow older, we have kids and issues of life tend to choke us up. We don't have time for things, but we've got to intentionally create those moments for ourselves, and we can do it. Book surprise massage, surprise spa weekend. Just do anything to surprise your spouse. I'm telling you now that surprises builds intimacy. It builds connection. It connects us together, and you're kind of looking forward to the next time when it would happen. What else can we do together apart from surprising each other? Now, when I was talking about surprising each other, it's in different ways. A couple once said the way they surprise each other is they write surprise notes and put it in different parts of their house. So the spouse might wake up, find one under the pillow. Tomorrow he might find one in the bathroom. Tomorrow, another day, he might find one in the shoe. Just surprise each other. Find things to do to surprise each other. It keeps love going. What else can we do to help ourselves? Another thing we can do to help ourselves is by connecting to one another is sharing our goals and our plans together. All what I've said, they are relaxed, they are so wonderful atmosphere where you do things in a very relaxed way. They are all fun. But sometimes as well, we've got to talk serious matter. And who is the best person to talk serious matter with than the person that you can trust with your life, your body? I want to encourage us as couples, let's sit down, relax, and talk about our goals. So sometimes, let's sit down together and be vulnerable in the presence of each other. Be honest with each other. darling, do you know that when I was a child, I was hoping that I wanted to be an engineer? And it's like, oh, you never told me. Yes, I wanted to be an engineer, but because of maybe family finance, because of just share your goals, your disappointment. Be honest with each other. Find time to discuss things. And then but now that we're settled and married, I wouldn't mind to go back and study engineering. And your spouse will be like, oh my God, I never knew you had that aspiration. And he or she might be able to help you. Sometimes it might be aspiration that you might never be able to bring it alive, but at least you've shared it. So sit down and share your goals, your fears, your failures, your successes, the plans that you have for tomorrow. And then you can both together, work together, and make it happen with the help of God. So you've got to set goals and plans together with each other. Do you know that when we come together as a team to plan things, do you know that the team spirit keeps us alive? So that's the idea. So when you tell your wife, say for example, you told your wife that, darling, I really wanted what I want to do before was I would have loved to be somebody that deals in car. I would have loved to be a car dealer, but things fail along the line and I didn't realize it. You know, the next time your wife starts going out, she begins to think and plan, if it's a good wife, on how to help you see how we can materialize that. Vice versa, the husband, if your wife tells you that, one of the plan or goals that I have was that I wish I was this and this. Now, a good husband will begin to look at and see, how can I help my wife to materialize this? If I cannot even do exactly what she wanted, we might be able, as a team, to get really close by. So you've got to share your goals and your dreams with each other. Now, I'm going to come back a bit more lighter and now again. Another thing we can do together is we can snuggle together. Oh my God, I love snuggle time. I love me time. The time when you just sit down with your husband, you're not doing anything. Sometimes you don't even talk. You just look at each other's eyes. They are wonderful, wonderful moments. Please, let's create those moments. They keep the love alive. Stop making excuses. And I'm not saying that hold your phone in one hand and be on Facebook or be on Twitter or be on whatever, so many technologies now, so many social media. That's not what I mean. Put the phone down, the TV off, and just snuggle with each other. Sit down and enjoy the moment together. We need it all the time. Find time to have time to snuggle with each other together. And while I was talking about snuggle with each other, do you know how our children, as babies, do you know how much babies love it when moms just cuddle them? Do you know how much babies love it? The same effect it would have on us as couples. Just sit down. No argument, no talking. Just look at each other sometimes and enjoy the presence of each other. Share text messages with each other. Romantic text messages. Just look at, find lovely, lovely words to send to each other. Sometimes after a while, if I think, hang on, I haven't communicated with my husband, I'll just remember and send him a text. Just be spontaneous. Think about things. You're the best thing that happened to me. Oh, you look gorgeous. I'm missing you. Say things. You've got to do it. And sometimes as Christians, we pretend, and sometimes you can send sexy text to your husband. Is your husband, is your wife. It's not a concubine. It's not a sin. Look at where I read from the book of Songs of Solomon. You can prepare each other. I'm missing you. I feel honey. Just be creative. Be creative. Create the scene for excitement to keep the love alive. You can do it. Yes, we can. But we've got to be creative. We've got to keep finding things to do. We've got to keep, each time you sit down, think about what else can I do that I will be able to outdo my husband or my wife in keeping our love alive. Send messages to each other. Message of love, of appreciation. Send romantic messages. What else can we do? We can also massage ourselves. Buy lovely oils, Buy, I was saying earlier on, surprises like having candle lights day in sometimes. Buy oil, massage each other. Let your husband have a lovely shower, a lovely bath, and give him or a very good massage with the oil. I'm telling you, if you do that for your husband, he will really appreciate it. Massage his feet. You know those feet that has worked so hard, that is tired. Put oil and help him massage it. The same with your wife. Massage her back, massage her feet. Just, help each other, massage each other as much as you can. What else can we do to help each other to keep our love going? We can also keep our love going by sharing meaningful, and I mean meaningful and truthful kiss with each other. When I said kiss, somebody say, "Oh my God, what did you just say?" Yes, that's what I'm saying. When we're cutting each other, do you know how much you always look at your spouse and you feel like, "Oh, I wish I can just kiss him now. I wish I could just kiss her now." Well, now you're married and you don't even want to bring your mouth close to him or her. Make it a point of kissing your partner on a daily basis. Oh my God, what did I just say? Yes, it helps to keep the love alive. Make it a point. Find excuses to kiss your partner. Find excuse as you go on the way. I'm not talking about pecking and just no. Find excuse to give each other very good kiss. Sometimes somebody is saying, "Oh, Jesus, what is she saying?" I just read from the book of Songs of Solomon. It's not a sin. Give each other a romantic kiss and do it as if you mean it. It helps the relationship. It helps the relationship. Also, what else can we do to make our love life go well? Is another thing which I call flirting with each other. Before we get married, we know how to flirt very well. You see each other and you just find things to do with each other that can be flirters. And after we get married to each other, we try to be smart, to be big, no more flirt. We stop flirting with each other. Life should not be that serious if we really want to keep our love life alive. For God's sake, you're not living with your brother or your sister, you're living with your lover. Your lover. You've got to keep him or her your lover for the rest of your life. And those are some of the things we've got to do to keep it alive. Otherwise, we just become brothers and sisters in the house. And we might as well call ourselves brothers and sisters. So we've got to keep our love going. We've got to keep it alive. Come on, be flirtatious. Sometimes just go and get yourself sexy underwear, sexy night dresses. Bring out the flirtatious you. You've got to do it. You're lovers. You're not brothers and sisters. You're not siblings. You're meant to be lovers. And those are some of the things that can keep the love alive. Hug each other. Give each other big hugs. Hug. Mean it when you hug each other. Let your spouse know that, hang on, this love hug is real. It's real. Some people cannot even come close to each other. It has become like a taboo. Greet each other with excitement. When you've gone apart, when you come back together, meet each other with excitement. Let the excitement be there. Let the excitement be there. Create moments to connect with each other. I want to stop here tonight because I want you to start practicing those things we've shared. Don't forget I said, I'm not even going to start very far. I said, look for 5 things. Just start with 5. Look for just 5 things that you think that your spouse have done that is good. And start bringing it out one after the other. One in the morning, one at night, like 3 times daily pay medication. But I don't want you to be 3 times now. Bring it out as much as you can. 1 in the morning, 1 at noon, evening. Just keep bringing out those gratitude words, those appreciative words. Appreciate him for his hairstyle. Appreciate her for her haircut. Appreciate each other in whatsoever way you can. Don't forget I said start with 5, and you see that as we start going on, it will develop more. I want to stop here tonight, but I will just run through everything we shared because I know some people would watch from beginning and some later at the end. I know sometimes it happens like that. So let's start again. How can we keep our love alive? There are several things we can do to keep our love alive, but we've got to face reality. We are not brothers and sisters, we are lovers. And some things has got to be done to keep our love alive. If we don't do those things, we stop being lovers, we start living together as brothers and sisters or as siblings. And those things does not keep the love alive. Come on, we've got to start keeping the love alive. Be appreciative to each other. Gratitude. Look for things to be appreciative about. I also said, like I've talked and spoken about the journal. Do exciting things together. Create activities together. Things that you will be excited about. Things that will scare you. Things that you would not like. Things that you say, oh, this looks scary. This looks. My kids have some words they use. I've forgotten some of them. This looks yucky. You know, just excitement. Create excitement between each other. Do things together. Visit places together. Volunteer together. You know, share moments of volunteering together or serving together in a social environment or your community, in the church you attend. Go for trust walk in the house, at home. When I'm talking about trust, I mean just relying on your spouse, like blindfold one partner and let the other partner lead on you. Just something to laugh about. And are you sure I'm not going to fall? Like, you know, build trust in each other. Become a baby, a child for each other. Just to build the love. Let go of yourself and let your partner lead you on. It's really important. Cook meal together. Learn new meal together. Do silly games together. You know, have weekly dates. Spend time together. Create time for dates. Date doesn't have to be expensive, but you can look forward to it every week. I know, hang on, this week it's going to be Thursday night. Wow, I'm looking forward to it. Myself and my husband will be spending time together. Create time together. Oh, and surprise each other. Give each other present surprises. Outdo each other with good things. Surprise each other. This week, help with this. Next week, help buy a gift. The next one, just do something to connect with each other. I also said, let's have the moment of discussing our future with each other. Discuss our future with each other. Tell each other our goals, our fears, our plan. There's no other person that is good to plan with like our spouse. Let's plan with each other. And I said, find time to snuggle together. Snuggle together, stay together, just embrace each other. Really snuggle. When I mean snuggle, not sit down at one end of the chair and the other sit down at the other end of the chair. For God's sake. Enjoy your day together. Enjoy your moment together. Snuggle together. And I said, kiss as if you mean it. Proper romantic kissing. Give each other kisses. You are lovers. You're not brothers. It's not your child. It's not your son, you know. Give him good systematic kisses. Yes, we need it. And I also said, let's learn to flirt. Flirt. Ladies, flirt yourself any way you can in the presence of your husband. You know, rather than sew all those clothes and wear them out on Instagram or wherever, the first person that you should flirt yourself in the presence of is your spouse. Come on. Double up and just be flirtatious sometimes. Flirt with each other. Man, flirt with your wife. Instead of flirting with those girls out there, instead of flirting with colleagues at work, flirt. You know what flirt is, because you do flirt when you're out there, when nobody's looking at you, and you shouldn't be. So you know those hunger for flirting that comes into you, use it with your spouse. You're lovers. You're meant to be lovers. Flirt with each other. Greet each other with excitement. When you see each other, welcome each other with excitement. Let your spouse always want to be around you. And I also said, hug each other. Love as in proper hugging. Before we go, I would also encourage us. If you listen to one of my podcasts, when I was talking about creating joy in our family, can I also say that part of creating joy in our home is by moving around with couples that have, the same goal like you. I'm not saying throw people away, but you've got to look at families that are looking forward. You can see them that clearly they're working really hard to make their marriage work. Yeah, you've got to move closer to such people. You've got to be friends with them, because you don't want to be friends with a man that tells his wife to kneel down. or in the corner of the house, or he doesn't tell his wife to kneel down, but when you are with them, you can see the chemistry that the woman is no longer the wife, the woman is now the slave. Even a slave should not be treated like that. Gone are the days of slave trade, but some people are technically, that's the way they treat their spouses. So you've got to kind of look for spouses, for friends that have the same goal as you, friends that are looking forward to having good homes. You've got to ally with them, be friends with them, see what they do different. You don't have to tell them you're studying them, but you will see it. See what they do different, see what they do better, see what you do better, and improve on it. Now, till we meet next week, please share with friends, share with colleagues. Let them know that we can keep our love alive, but we've got to intentionally do something about it. God bless you till we'll see again next week. Stay blessed and have a lovely night. Amen.